One of the best practical skills that you can develop as a leader is asking good questions. Guys, I have to confess, I am terrible at this. I was specifically terrible at it about 5 years ago when I decided I needed to become better at this. I am a natural fixer. I want to offer quick answers and solutions to people, especially people I care about in my dinner group. But I have to fight this. Why? Because asking good questions helps your group to take ownership in a deeper level, and that is huge. It's what you want for your group. So, fun fact, in the New Testament, Jesus was asked 183 questions. Do you want to know how many he answered? 3 of them. He asked 307 clarifying or redirecting questions, which is insane to me. Instead of giving quick answers, which Jesus had the ability to do, being that he's Jesus and knows the answers, but he didn't. He instead asked more questions. Why? Because he chose to impact others by offering questions that helped them grow instead of just giving them well-crafted answers. And I think that this is why. Here are the benefits to asking good questions. 1, they encourage people to think for themselves. This creates the ownership that we talked about. We all have to own our faith journeys. As a dinner group leader, you can create the process that offers them freedom and space to work through their questions on their own. 2, they encourage people to problem solve. Think about all the teachers that you have had. They didn't just hand out answers, they helped you figure it out. They helped you solve it. Problem solving can actually ignite our passion for something, and you want that for your group. You want them to own it and to feel passionate about discovering an answer. 3, the person asking the questions is in control of the conversation. I'm sure as a dinner group leader, you've been in this situation, right? You're all sitting around having a conversation when all of a sudden, someone asks a question that seems to you to be coming out of left field, right? And all of a sudden, the conversation veers off to a completely different place. And as a dinner group leader, you spend the next 10 minutes reining everyone back in. We have all been there. And why? Because the person asking the question is the driver of the conversation, and you want that to be you. So, what makes a good question? Good questions are discovery-based. They are motivated by a genuine desire to understand and connect with the other person. This is when you ask yourself, are you trying to care for someone or are you trying to make a point? I am usually trying to make a point. It is almost painful for me to sometimes not offer the question and not offer the answer and instead offer a question to help them get to the answer. So I want to encourage you, this is not a gift that people are born with. This is a skill that the more you practice, the better you get at. So if you are not good at this, like I'm not good at this, it's okay. We're on the same page. But let's look at a diagram that's going to help us become better at this. If this looks really small to you right now, if you don't have a copy of this with you, just email us. We'll make sure that you have the resources you need. But this is a diagram that shows us the kind of questions we want to ask, right? So we have the level 1 questions, and this is the gather the details questions. This is the who, what, where, when, and how. And your goal here is to engage, right? You want to gather the details. And you don't want to spend a whole lot of time here. You want to ask maybe 1 or 2 questions. Because don't forget, if you're in the middle of your dinner group as you're doing this, you don't want it to take up a whole lot of time. The level 2 question is the gather the context. Now this, as you can see here, is probably going to be where you're going to spend the bulk of your time. These questions are the what did you do next? How did you feel? How did you respond? These are the questions that show the person that you care. And during this, don't forget, is when you're going to do the most active listening. It's really important to have the posture of an active listener when you're asking these questions. The level 3 questions. This is exploring the outcomes. This is the what will you do next? What do you think? How can I help? What's your next step? This is crucial to helping your group members grow. These questions encourage action. Like level 1 and 2, they're discovery based from a posture of humility and curiosity, but they move the person to action. Your questions can help people think of their circumstances differently. It can help them step out of their emotions and think in a constructive way. It may even lead them to a resolution, a good one. But being a good question asker takes practice, and hopefully understanding the level 1, 2, and 3 just simply gives you practical handles and helps you become more intentional and skilled at asking good questions.